All right, everybody, welcome back. I'm here with the neutral cards. So remember, going over this one here, just in general for power level. If it's a 7-star, that's a card that's 120 plus, it should be a banned card. If it's a 6-star card, like between 100 and 120, it's generally too powerful for Arena. This is a card you're going to hate whenever you see it in Arena. If you're a 5-star card, you're like a class-defining card, which you're a card that's really, really powerful, but you're not like, you don't ruin games. 4-star cards, these are cards that can just, in general, swing the game for people. 3-star card, these are cards that are above average for their mana cost. 2-star cards, these are cards that are just in general average cards you have to take to fill out your deck. 1-star cards, these are bad cards, but maybe they're good in the right deck, maybe with the right situation. 0-star, never pick. All right. So I'm going to go over to neutrals. This is, by the way, the text here is just my write-up. I'm going to get rid of the text, and then I'm too lazy to edit this out right now. So I'm just going to, I have them sorted from best to worst. So first off, we're going with the commons. So Time Lost Proto Drake, I have that as 95, aka a 5-star card. This is a 4. Okay, so Time Lost Proto Drake, it's 4 mana. Taunt. Oh, by the way, just so you guys know, I forgot to mention it in the last video, but I should mention it. Blizzard released all the cards, finally finished releasing cards on Sunday, for me, Sunday night. And then on Tuesday night, they put all the cards in the arena. So I've played with these cards a little bit. I'm pretty sure you'll probably have played with these cards here. So these are my thoughts before I did any playing with these cards, and I did not do any editing on this. So we'll see how I am on this. All right, and that's why this video is coming out. I would usually do the video on Sunday, but because Arena's already out, I want to try to get this out early on. Anyway, Time Lost Proto Drake. Taunt. When you draw this, add a random dragon to your hand. Okay, so it's 4 mana, 4/5 taunt. That's really good. We just had coming back in here Circus Amalgam. Circus Amalgam, which is a 4 mana, 4/5 taunt, right? So that's a 70. So this has a 4 mana, 4/5 taunt, except you add a random dragon to your hand. You can't do it when you whatchamacallit. You can't keep this in your opening hand, but you're going to get a random dragon. So let me see here. So an example of this card, I'll go over here, is, and these are one of these cards that I use a lot. If we go over to Rogue, so Rogue has a card here, Hench Clan Burglar. That's a 4 mana, 4/4 discover a spell from another class. There's a few cards like this. So a 4 mana, 4/5 that generates a card and has taunt. I mean, that's obviously great. That's obviously a 5-star card. This one probably best neutrals, and this is going to be the defining neutral of the set. All right. Next one here, Watcher of the Sun. This is a 91. This one is also a 5-star card. So Watcher of the Sun, it's a 2 mana card, which gives you a holy spell. Let me pull that up here. Forge also restores 6 health to your hero. So Forge, you don't need to care about the Forge. This is one of those Forge where it's like super situational. You can skip it. It's a 2/3 that gives you a random holy spell. 2 drops that give you random things are always insanely good. 2 drops that discover things, 2 drops that give you things. They're always good. The Forge is also really good. I think this is a 5-star card. I think it's top tier card. That's not much needs to be said. I'll compare it. Nimbus Element, Menacing Nimbus here. Menacing Nimbus, it's a 2/3. It's not updated here. Add a random elemental to your hand. So would you rather have a random elemental? Would you rather have a random holy spell plus the option to heal later? I would say I'd rather have the random holy spell plus the option to heal later. Thus better. Thus 5 stars. Well, that is only 4. Okay, next one here. Careless Merchant. Pull this off here. Careless Merchant, I've got as a 4-star card. Careless Merchant is a 3 mana, 4/5. Which, after you draw your second card in a turn, destroy this. So, your opponent should not have a way to, force you to draw cards. I think there might be a way, I'm not sure. No, there might be some situations, but I'm skipping those. So, as long as you are not careless, in the name, as long as you are not careless, you're never going to destroy this. Which means it's a 3 mana, 4/5 with basically no downside, as long as you're not stupid. So I compare this to Paladin. Paladin has a card, which is, I believe it is around here. Righteous Protector. No, not that. Archer Protector, Seal Blood. I cannot find a card. I'm not sure if the card left. Paladin had a card that was a 3 mana 5/5 Okay, I forget the card. I think it rotated out. So it was a 3 mana 5/5 that dealt 5 damage to your face. And that was kind of around the 80s, give or take. One sec, let me pull my notes here. Like, I have my written notes down here. Okay, Night of the Dead. So compared to, like, Night of the Dead, that was a 5/5, which dealt 5 damage to you, and in the late game could heal you for 5. Once you hit a mana thirst plateau. So the question is a 4/5, is one attack worth taking 5 damage? I don't think so. So it's better than that. And that's why, like, that was an 86, this is an 88, this is a 4-star card. Again, just like incredibly overstated 3-drop. All right. Next one here is Mechanome Guide. So, Mechanome Guide, that's a 4 mana 3/4 that discovers a spell. And Forge, you can reduce its cost by 3. Where are you? Here. So, Battlecry discovers spell, Forge, it costs 3 less. We've had this card in Nerubian Visor. Is Visor still in? Visor is out. Okay, Nerubian Visor is out. So, with Nerubian Visor out, you still need to... oh, never mind. It's right here. I thought it was out. Okay, Nerubian Visor, 3 mana 2/4, discover a spell, reduce it by 2 if an undead died the turn before. 3 mana 3/4, discover a spell. A 4 mana 3/4, discover a spell, Forge, it costs less than 3. Better than Visor? No. The Forge means you can get that effect. You can get pretty much get a mana discount on it later on in the game when you factor in the spell. 4 mana 3/4, worse than a 3 mana 2/4, but overall basic same effect, basic around like the same range, so 4 stars. Next one here, Containment Unit, which I have as a 4-star card. That is a 7 mana 6/6, which has Magnetic and Death Rattle, summon a random 8-cost minion. So, 7 mana 6/6, that's fine. It has a Death Rattle. It's kind of like an inverse Plagued Proto-Drake. If we take a look over here, let me pull off the mech. Let me pull off this stuff. 7 type minion cards. No, okay, everything. So if we look at 8-cost minions here. Great Legendary, 7/7, 5/5, okay, that's fine. That's really good. That's really good. Cage Head's really good. Cenarius 5/8, that's okay. Coilfang Warlord's insane. 8/8's good. 4/6, the Enhanced Dreadlord's good. You're taking a look here. What are you getting out of it? Like, you're getting some absolutely insane cards out of this. Like Supreme Abyssal, Soul Stealer. It's like the absolute worst you're getting is a 5/5. I mean, that's going to be really, really, really good. Comes out a little bit late. Maybe a little bit too late for current arena, but I'd say overall 4-star cards. Next one, an Imposing Anubisath. I have as an 80, which is also a 4-star card. So that one is the 7/7 Taunt, I believe. Yes. Taunt can't attack. Reason I have it this high is because opponents have to deal with it. You put it on the board, you're like, they can't silence it. If they're using removal on just like a random 4-drop minion, that's really good for you. So he's just standing there. Like, he can't pressure, but your opponent has to deal with it. And that's why I like it so much. So I think this is a 4-star card. All right. Trog Exile, I have as a borderline 4-star card. So Trog Exile, that's a 3 mana 4/4 with Rush and deal 4 damage to your hero. 3 mana 4/4 Rush that clears up 3/4s, which are really, really common. The deal 4 damage, I think that's honestly worth it for the stats and for the Rush. So this is going to be like a premium removal option. This is going to be great on curve. So overall, 4-star card. All right, like 100 boards line. All right, next one here. XB488 Disposal Bot. I have this one. This is now just into like the high 3-star range. So this one, it is a 5 mana 3/2. Deal 5 damage, randomly split amongst all enemy minions. Forge, gain lifesteal. I compare this to Derailed Coaster. Derailed Coaster was a really good card. 5 mana 3/2, and it summoned 5 things. So difference is this is randomly split. The Coaster, you got to control it. You got the benefit from the like any board buffs, anything that like a Direwolf Alpha that you had to benefit those things. This has life steal, which is okay. I mean, this is one of those, like, you don't always need the life steal. But as I said, Derailed Coaster was around the 70s. I think this is around the same range, so that's why I have it here. And actually, if we go over here to Hearth Arena, Derailed Coaster is back in. Derailed Coaster. Derailed Coaster. Okay. Oh, actually. Oh, never mind. I forgot Derailed Coaster was that. Okay, so I might be a little bit low on this. But I think Derailed Coaster has a lot more upside than this does. This is a little bit easier to use. So if I'm off on this, if this is higher, then I wasn't sure what they do. I thought Derailed Coaster was in the 70s. So, okay. Anyway, moving on here. Serenite 12 here. This is a 4-mana 3/5 taunt where when your opponent acts in, you get a card. I have this as 3 stars. So, okay, where is that? 4-mana 3/5 taunt. So, okay, so here are my issues. Number 1, any sort of removal negates that. Number 2 is that you can't actually guarantee the card draw for that reason. You're probably going to get it. So, this is really good. Senjin would be about a Yeti level, a 60, and so this is like a 74, 75, so that's what I value. Like, it does block out a lot of, like, small minions trading into this, but I think it's overall a decent card, so that's where it is. 3 stars. Cyclopean Crusher is I have it as a 3-star. This is a 3-mana card, which is a 3/2 rush, I believe. Yeah, 3/3 rush. Forge gain +3/+2. So 3-mana 3/3 rush, that's fine. If you pay 2 mana, you can get a 6/5 rush. That's above stats for curve. So it's 6/5 by itself is above stats, and then has rush. That's good. That puts it in 3-star range. Next one here. Relentless Warg. 71, I have it as a 3-star card in general. Like a high 3-star card if you're a class that has buffs or hand buffs, and a low 3-star card if you don't. So that is, I'm just going to put it here. It's a 3-mana 2/4 with rush, and after this attacks and kills a minion, restore it to full health. I've played with this card, and yeah, this is about its range. So you can use this to clean up a lot of small guys, and it's got 4 health, so it's difficult to remove. And then you can buff it, and you can use it to clean up big guys, and you have to force your opponent to trade into it rather than do whatever they want to do. So overall, I think, as I said, really good card. I think it's solid. I think it's above average. Buffs make this really good, so 3 stars. Drone Deconstructor. Okay, Drone Deconstructor is... I have it here as another 3-star card. I believe this is the 1-mana 1/2. Am I correct? Yes, I am. So 1-mana 1/2 mech battlecry, gain a 1/1 magnetic spark bug with a random bonus effect. So spark bugs are 1/1s. They have, like, here you have Divine Shield, Taunt, just basic things here: Rush, Wind Fury, Lifesteal, Reborn, Poisonous, Stealth. I'm valuing this as a 2/3 with a random bonus effect. So that to me is like 3-star range. Like some of these, like a 2/3 Divine Shield or Reborn, is insane. Some of these, like a 2/3 Poisonous, maybe in the right situation is good. 2/3 Taunt is good. So overall, I think this is good. I think it's good. I think potentially can be great. Potentially, like if you get a Wind Fury, your lifesteal off this is mediocre. Maybe if you have mechs, you can put the bots on something else. I generally would not play this on 1 if I did not have a mech, because I would not trust I would be able to get it. So overall, I say 3 stars. Tram Operator. Okay, Tram Operator, this one is one I might be wrong on. I did the valuation before the sets came out. This is the 5-mana 4/4 draw battlecry drawn mech. The next mech you play costs 2 less. So I was going to be under the assumption that you might get 1 or 2 or 3 mechs a turn per game, and that this would justify it. I don't think that's possible, so I probably did overrate this. So my thing was, it's a worse Azure Drake, but it's still pretty good, and you might be able to play the mech with it, which is good. So under that line of logic, I thought that was 3 stars. This is probably like maybe a 2-star, maybe a 1-star card. I'm not sure in the current one. Melted Maker. 1 second here. This is a 3-star card. This is a 3 mana 3/3 that gives you, after you forge a card, get a copy of it. So it's 3/3 where you can potentially, like if you've got multiple cards you can play, or multiple forge cards you can draw cards. Now, the combo, which I was thinking here, is Storm Giant. And so this is like the God combo. So Storm Giant costs, every time you forge it, costs 2 less, and it can be forged endlessly. So if you can get Storm Giant down to 0 mana, you play this. So you play Storm Giant, get down to 0 mana, play this, forge the 0 mana Storm Giant, get a 2 mana 8/8 taunt, or something. Was it 2 mana 8/8 taunt? Yeah, 2 mana 8/8 taunt. So that's like the God combo. Really, you're probably going to get like maybe 1, maybe 2 cards like the turn you play it. So, I mean, overall, good. I'd say 3 stars. Okay, next one here. Envenomatic. This is a 2-star card. After you magnetize a minion, give it +1/+1. You're not going to really magnetize all that much. I have probably a few points lower. I gave a value for that. So, overall, 2 stars. Next one, Flame Revenant. After you summon an elemental, gain +1/+1. Most classes don't have elemental. Like Mage, Shaman, you take this, maybe that's a 3-star card. Overall, I didn't care enough to value for each one, so 2. Victorious Vicruel. After this attacks, gain a 2/3 Valkyr that costs 1. Worse than it looks. So you play this on 1, you attack, you get to 2/3 Valkyr. So, basically, you get to 2/3 Valkyr, and how would I describe? You have 2 mana, so you play 1 mana for the 2/3 Valkyr. What else are you going to play for 1 mana? Yeah, right. That's the problem. So, and then this dies freely, so you don't gain that much out of it. I mean, it's still okay. I have it as 2 stars. I don't think it's that great. Ravenous Kraken. 3 mana, 2/5, Battle Cry, destroy a friendly minion, and Death Rattle, restore it. So I have this as a summon a copy of it. I have it as 2 stars. We've had Cube. Cube was good, don't get me wrong, but we've had destroy a friendly minion cards like this. This doesn't do enough, so I think it's just a 2/5 at best, maybe a little bit worse than a 2/5, so 2 stars. Okay. Sharp-Eyed Seeker. So this is one of the cards where, okay, this one here. Battlecry, if there isn't a card, sorry, get this out of the way. This, I have it as 2 stars. If there's a card in your deck that didn't start it there, draw it. So, Death Knight has Plagues. You don't want to play this with Plagues. Most of the other cards that shuffle things into your deck are legendaries. So, basically, if you don't have a legendary, it's a 3/3. And against Death Knight, it might actually kill you. So, okay, 3/3. So, yeah, not that good. Last one here for the commons, Ancient Totem. I have it as 1 star. That is a 0 mana 0/3 and a totem. And I have it here because it's difficult to kill. So you can buff this. And if you get like any kind of buffs on this, this becomes really good. It's like that's the only reason. I think it's like very, very rarely are going to take this, but I do see situations where this is good, and that's what keeps it out of like 0-star cards I would never pick. I would pick this. That's why it's a 1-star card. Okay. Going into rares, Runeforged Golem. Now I should do the filter here just to make it easier for me here. Rarity, we're on rare. There's only 5 of them here. Okay. Runeforged Golem. 4 mana 4/4, Battlecry, discover a weapon from any class. Weapons are good. Most classes do not have access to weapons. So it's a 4 mana 4/4, discovers a card, gives you an option you do not have when drafting normally. So I think this is a really good 4-star card. Not much needs to be said. Angry Hellhound. 4 mana 2/5, Rush, has 4 attack on your turn. So it's a 4 mana 6/5 Rush. You kill something, it's weak, it gets killed back. So great as removal, not that great as a board threat because it'll probably get removed. That's why I only have it as 4 stars. Starlight Whelp. Battlecry, get a random card from your starting hand. 3 mana 4/3, generates a card. Not that much that needs to be said. That's a 4-star card. Celestial Projectionist. 2 mana 3/2, choose a friendly minion, add a temporary copy of it to your hand. So if you play this on something small, then you can kind of get a card for it. I think it's too much of a setup. I don't think it's that great. So ultimately I have it. It's a 2-star card. It's a 2-drop with an upside. Disguised Kathir. Every turn this is in your hand, transform to random copy in your opponent's deck. We've had these cards before. We've had Xeras. We've had Chameleus. So overall, 2-star card. Okay, Epic. All right. Most of these aren't that good. Fate Splitter. So Fate Splitter here. Death Rattle, get a copy of the card that killed this. So for me, it is a 3-mana 3/3 that gives you a card eventually. I think that's a low 4-star, 3-star card range. So that's basically my logic here. Son of Hodor. Shuffles 4 8/8 giants to your deck that are summoned when drawn. I think this comes out too late to be useful. I don't think it's bad. I think it's like a 3-star card, but I think it comes out too late to really be useful or to get the summons to go off, the shuffles to go off. And no, I will not take the 3/3 with this. I think that's too much of a combo. Storm Giant. You have to spend a lot of mana to get it down to like the tempo level. I still think it's 2 stars, but it's ultimately you're still paying 8 mana for an 8/8. That's basically my thoughts on it. Not much needs to be said. Mecha Leaper. You're not going to have the mechs for this. I have this as 1. Razor Scale. This is a constructed card. I don't care about it. It's 1. And then lastly, to the legendaries to finish this up. There's 5 more here. All right, among the legendaries. First one here. Kolgarn is a 7-star card. Why? Well, let's read what it does. Put that here. It's an 8-mana 6/10. Rush, when this attacks when you put it into your hand. Basically sap. Death Rattle, move any in hand to your opponent's hand. Not back to the board. So it's an 8-mana 6/10 with sap on attack if you attack a minion. And you potentially generate cards off of this. This is just incredible. I think it's better than Firelands, so 7 stars. Flame Behemoth. Get 2 random battlecry, get 2 random magnetic mechs. They cost 2 less. I compare this to Firelands. You get 2 cards out of it for 1 more mana instead of 3, or instead of 1. But you get discounts on those cards, which is, I think, makes up for the mana cost. Plus, you can play those cards on this, or you can play them on each other. So, overall, 4 stars. Prison of Yogg-Saron. All right. Prison of Yogg-Saron. Choose a character. Choose a character. Cast 4 random spells. I think this is a very strong removal option. So, it should kill off the character. So, ultimately, I think 4 stars for that. Ignis. I compare this to Kazakis. I think you should have stuff to forge. So, because I think you're going to have stuff to forge, you're going to get what's essentially, I'm not going to read through all of these. You can read through all these. But you get a weapon that has like a Kazakis effect that's absolutely insane. So if you forge, you play this, you get a card that just wins you the game. Problem is, you need forged cards and you need to draw them to play it. So overall, that balances out. Kazakis was about 4 stars. This is about 4 stars. And finally, last card here, Allagan the Observer. Allagan's hero power is 1 mana. Look at the top card in your opponent's deck. You may put it at the bottom of your deck. You make your deck actively worse by playing this, because that is always going to be worse than whatever hero power you have. So ultimately, 1 star. All right, and that is it for all of the neutrals. When I come back, I will be starting with the Death Knight Death Knight class. I'll go over kind of like what they got and then do the card reviews for all of them. All right, I will see you guys in the next video.